We've got some things that these attorneys want to hash out, so let's bring in our attorney who is standing by. We have Sam Bassett with us. Sam, interesting that we are hearing about the interview with the roommate, Lance Twiggs, someone who also has been reported to have been in a relationship with the defendant and is also an outcry or alleged outcry, someone who received an alleged confession as well in written format. How important is this interview to this case that the prosecution has? And we'll talk about why it may be difficult for them to get it in here in the preliminary hearing.
I think that this is a very important interview because this is a person that was close to the defendant, was romantically involved, probably on the defendant's side, certainly before he committed these acts, and he confided in him. And whatever he said and whatever they communicated about goes to the state of the mind of Tyler Robinson, both immediately after the shooting, but also in the days or weeks before the shooting, discussing his motivations, perhaps. So this statement's very important.
Very important, and I've been letting our viewers know when they hear the numbers 1102 that they're referring to the fact that Lance Twiggs isn't in the courtroom. They aren't going to be coming in and testifying at the witness stand. But in a preliminary hearing, that even though that would normally be hearsay, it can come in, and that's what 1102 covers. Can you talk about that, the arguments that they're going to be making in front of the judge to get in perhaps an interview or a statement or what this witness is going to say they heard in that interview?
Well, generally, these statements can be admitted at a preliminary hearing in this manner, but not at trial, as you've already said. But also, the importance of these statements, I think the defense is arguing strongly to redact some of the information from the statements, and it'll be interesting to hear their grounds. But one of the grounds that comes to my mind is there may be stuff that's not admissible that Twiggs talks about, or that you don't want the general public to hear before trial because it doesn't really serve the purpose of probable cause. So it'll be interesting to hear the argument about the admissibility of the statement for purposes of this hearing. So this is just kind of a preliminary hearing that gives us a slight preview of the trial.
Yeah, a preview we're all very interested in hearing. And something that I just learned through this witness is that there was a level of immunity given to the roommate in these statements. Use immunity. Can you talk about that, Sam? How does that differ from what we typically think of when we have perhaps a co-defendant taking the stand and they've been given immunity?
Well, there's the broader concept of immunity, which means the person can't be prosecuted at all when they agree to testify or cooperate in a case. But use immunity is more limited. Use immunity is you're immune from prosecution for the statement you're going to give as a product of the interview. But if they independently prove you committed a crime, not using the statement you give, you can still be prosecuted for a crime under that scenario.
Interesting to point out, and something that would certainly come up at trial if and when Lance takes the stand. Sam, thank you so much for your analysis this hour. I know we have to say goodbye to you, but we appreciate it. We're going to get to our break. When we come back, we're getting you right back in that courtroom to hear what all we'll be able to hear of that interview with the defendant's roommate and romantic partner.